So this is why I can't have nice things. So you'll rarely see me with painted nails, but I was going through some things last night and I found this nail polish that I think I got in an Ipsy bag or something, but I thought it was really pretty and I feel like it's good for fall, right? But like if I miss it, so I put it on and then I went about like making my husband's lunch, and like 30 minutes later I had already messed up my nails. And I feel like I always do this. I do my nails and then I mess them up right away. And I understand this is OCD of me. I embrace it. But if I mess up a nail, I have to take it all off and do it again. Because otherwise I just like sit and pick at them all. I know. It's me though. Anyway, hi friends. How are you today? Hope everyone is doing good. It's October. Time to bring out all that good fall decor and Halloween decor and everything like that. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Please excuse my splotchy face. I tried something a little different today. Anyway, so I kind of debated telling this story for a while. It's not the best story, and it's a personal story, which is also why I debated telling it, but I feel like I'm going to tell it anyways. So, what does 1 in 4 mean to you? Is it a number? Is it a statistic? Does it mean absolutely nothing? Because honestly, if you would have asked me this question a few months ago, probably would have said it meant nothing. Now it means something. 1 in 4 is the number of women who will lose a pregnancy or an infant. And unfortunately, I'm in that number now. And I'm also doing my makeup while I tell this. I mean, I always do my makeup while I do these videos, but I feel like I need to, especially today, I need to have something to do because it's a little bit of an emotional story for me. So let's get into it. So we started trying to have kids about 4.5 years ago. We've been married for almost 7 years. And 4.5 years ago, we decided it was time to try to start having kids. And we really hadn't had any luck until a few months ago. I started feeling a little different and having some signs that maybe I was pregnant, and I was super nervous to take a pregnancy test because I've taken a lot of those in my time, and it's always disappointing when they come out negative. But a friend was like, go take a test. So I did, and it said pregnant, and I was beyond excited. And honestly, right then was when I knew I was ready to be a mom. Like, I've always wanted to be a mom. Ever since I was little, I have wanted to be a mom. It's been just one of my biggest, it's been a big life goal for me. And I was so excited when I saw that pregnancy sign. And before, like, I'd been excited, but I had also been a little terrified. And don't get me wrong, I was still a little terrified, but I was more excited than I was terrified. So I was like, maybe this means, so I was like, yes, I'm finally ready. And I showed my husband, and I remember the look on his face. And he was so excited because we had started to wonder if it would ever be a reality. And I know that there are people who have waited long. And as I tell this story, I'm not comparing myself to anyone I know that there are people who have waited longer or who have had it rougher than we have. So I'm really not comparing myself to anyone. I'm just telling my story. I just want to put that out there. So we were so excited, and I remember calling both our moms, and they were thrilled for us, and started planning and getting things ready. And I would talk to the baby all the time and just walk around talking to him. We called them Sweet Pea, because I read somewhere that was about how big the baby was, the size of a sweet pea. So baby was our Sweet Pea. And we started planning, and everyone was so excited for us because the people closest to us knew that we'd been trying for a while and hadn't had a lot of success. And so it was just super happy. And my sweet husband used to talk to my stomach all the time too. And then a few days later, I started having a couple concerning signs. I called the doctor, and they said just to watch it for a little bit. If it got worse, to call again. And so I went about a week just watching it. It didn't really get any signs, didn't get really any worse, but it didn't really get any better either. And so then one day they started to get a little worse. And I called the doctor again, and they told me to go in for some blood work. And I mean absolutely no disrespect to this doctor. They're a great doctor. And doctors are busy. I 100% understand this, but my mother-in-law knew another doctor, and so we called her, and I went to her the day after I got the blood work at the other doctor. That I got the blood work on a Monday, and hold on just a sec. Went to this other doctor on a Tuesday. It was the last day of June. And she took an ultrasound because she was concerned. She had some concerns that maybe the baby wasn't where it was supposed to be. And the baby, the baby wasn't quite measuring where it should be, and she couldn't find a heartbeat. She said sometimes at that point they could, and sometimes they couldn't, but she was suspicious that it was a miscarriage. And I remember I remember the night before, I had walked around our place and showing and yes, I understand that the baby probably couldn't see, but I was showing the baby our apartment, and I was just begging the baby to live because I wanted so badly to be a mama, to have that baby in a few months. And well, in months, there we go. And so the next day I went to the doctor, and she said she was suspicious that I was having a miscarriage, and thanks to this virus, I had to go to the doctor alone, which I really would have preferred to have my husband or somebody with me. But I mean, my mother-in-law, my sweet mother-in-law and my sweet husband were outside waiting for me, but they were not able to come in with me. So we went out, and I told him what the doctor said, and this doctor is the best, though. Love her. And told her what she said, and we went and got something to eat, and then drove home. And on the way home, I wasn't feeling great, and so I went home and went to the bathroom, and I lost my baby. Sorry. And I went and I told my husband, and he's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure." And let me tell you guys, it hurt. It hurt emotionally. It hurt physically. It just hurt. Oof. I'm also doing this to see if I can not ruin my makeup. And I was sobbing. I called my mom, I called my mother-in-law, and no one in my immediate family. My mom has never dealt with a miscarriage. My mother-in-law has never dealt with a miscarriage. So they weren't exactly sure what to do. But we called the doctor too, and I told her what happened, and she's like, yeah. She's like, well, and I was supposed to go in the next day anyway. I think I was supposed to get some blood work done or something. And she's like, well, I still want you to come in, and we'll do another ultrasound. And my sweet mother-in-law and sister-in-law came over that night. I wasn't sure at first I wanted any company, but they came over and just hung out with me for a little while. My husband had to be at work early in the morning too, and he had offered to stay, but I told him to go. So I told him to still go to work. It would be okay. And so they came over and hung out with me for a little bit, and hold on, I just heard him come home. Alright, anyway, so, and this is also the palette I'm using. It's one of my favorites. So they came over and sat with me for a little bit that night, and the next morning they took me back to the doctor's. My sweet sister-in-law was able to go into the appointment with me that time, where they confirmed that I had lost the baby, and it was devastating. I knew that I had, but at the same time, I guess I still had that little bit of hope until she told me for sure that the baby was gone. A little bit of a funny story though. So we walked out of the doctor's office, and I was crying because was just, it was hard. It was not good news. And there was a car out front, and I went right to it because it looked like my mother-in-law's car. And I started to open the door, and all of a sudden, I think we both realized that something was a little different. It wasn't my mother-in-law's car. I'm pretty sure it was the exact same car, but it wasn't hers. And we look over, and she's a couple spots over, just laughing at us. It was a nice little moment of levity in an otherwise really hard morning. And then I didn't want to go back home right away. Home was a little sad right then, and so I went out and did some other stuff, and then they came back and hung out with me for a little while, and my husband came back, hung out with him we all hung out for a little while. And I'm so grateful for all that they did and have done, for all that they have done, and quite honestly continue to do for me and my husband. So look, so we what was I gonna say? Yeah, so and then they would still come over. They still came over, I think, for days after that, just to hang out with me. Because I knew that it was really, really hard on me. And again, you know, they'd never been through this. They didn't know what to do. They just did what felt right. And they asked a couple friends who had been through it what they would have wanted. And it was just having somebody there was just wonderful. Because alright, I'm gonna use you here, and it's more of just a general you. I'm talking about myself, but I'm gonna use the word you. So when you miss, or maybe I'll just stick with that, I don't know. We'll play it by ear. So when I miscarried, and you can tell me this all day, and all day I will tell you I know, because I do. But that doesn't change how I felt. I know that there was nothing I could have done to stop that miscarriage. There was nothing. It wasn't my fault. That does not mean I really needed to use less of that. Oh well, we'll see how it works out. That does not mean that I did not and do not still feel guilty. You know, there's that feeling of what else could I have done? Did I do something? Was I would I have been a bad mom? Was it just not meant to be? Was there something wrong with the baby? Did I cause there to be something wrong with the baby? What happened? Why did I not keep my baby? And I don't know the answer to any of those questions. I'm doing better now. Most days I'm okay. I mean, I still have nights where I sit on the couch and I read miscarriage quotes on Pinterest and I sob, but I feel like sometimes I need to do that so that I'm able to go out and live my life. And that's okay. Something my sister-in-law told me was, it's okay to be sad. You can be as sad as you need to. And I'm still devastated. I feel like I handle it a little better now. I did something when I miscarried. A little bit after I got a tattoo, and there are people I know who would not agree with this decision. That's okay. It wasn't their decision, it was mine. Because it was something I needed, or I felt I needed. I needed a remembrance of my baby. I needed something that I could see every day that was on my body, always with me. I have a necklace too, but I don't always wear it. And I just needed something that would always be with me. And I'll never regret getting it. I think it helped me deal with the grief more. And it is not something that I will ever regret. But it's on my shoulder. And don't you do it. No. Hold on. Sorry, my cats really don't like when they can't go everywhere that they want to. And that door was open a little bit, so one of them decided to go in there. Anyway, so, what was I talking about? I don't remember what I was saying. Was talking about guilt. Sorry, I'm trying to recap in my mind because I really don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, so I have cried at night, I've cried in the bathroom, I've cried in the car, I've cried lots of places. And I read something, one of the quotes I read was, I've cried all these places so that so the world doesn't have to see that I'm not okay or something like that. And it's true. I cry in private so that when I'm with people, I can at least look like I'm okay, I guess. And honestly, most of the time, I feel okay. The sadness hasn't gone away. The grief hasn't gone away. I feel like it's a little more manageable. Oh, I was talking about my tattoo. That's right. It's on my shoulder. And it's a pair of feet with angel wings. And it says sweet pea below it. Because that baby's always going to be our sweet pea. And, I didn't know that I was pregnant the whole time I was pregnant. And yeah, I might not have been pregnant for that long, but that does not mean that I miss that baby any less. It does not mean that my baby's life was any less important, was any less important, because that was my baby. It was a life that was lost. And it doesn't matter how long you're pregnant or how short you're pregnant. When you lose a baby, a life's been lost, and it's sad. It sucks. It sucks. One of my favorite quotes that I've seen is, don't tell me God needed another angel when it wasn't yours he took. And which I full-heartedly agree with. And someone actually did tell me that God needed another angel, and I hate that saying, because it's one thing to say it when it's not your baby. I know that God needs angels and everything, but that doesn't mean I have to be happy that he took mine. As a few other people also told me that he has a plan for me. I know this. I believe this. But for me, as a grieving mama, that's not what I want to hear. I don't want you to tell me that God needed another angel or that he's got a plan for me, because I'm sad and a little angry. Well, I don't know if I'm still angry, but maybe a little at times, but it wasn't something that I personally, as a mama, wanted to hear. It didn't help. What was I gonna use? Hold on a sec. But yeah, I know one day, I don't think the memories, the sadness, I don't know if they'll ever fully go away. And I don't want the memories to go away. And I don't know how I feel about, well, if the memories fade into something sweeter as opposed to just sadness, then that's great. I will take that. It doesn't mean I will never stop missing that baby, because I will. I mean, I won't. I will never stop missing that baby. That was something that I wanted for a long time, and to suddenly have it gone, is a huge blow. My sweet husband he's definitely been my rock through this, and as well as my in-laws, and friends, family have been great, even when they don't understand. But I still, and I also had I had people tell me this, and I said this myself too, and I say this now as well, but right after, maybe it wasn't the best thing to say, but hopefully you get pregnant again soon. And I understand, I said this to myself too, I said this of myself too. But again, maybe right after it happened wasn't the best time to say that. I mean, now it's been a few months, and when I find out I'm not pregnant, I feel it, my heart sinks quite a bit too, because I want to be a mama. I want to have that baby. I hope that one day soon I'll get pregnant. I hope that I'll be able to be a mama. And I mean, if we have to go adoption or that way, then that's cool too. But I personally would love to be able to have my own babies. But if it's through adoption, then that's how it is. Then I will love those babies like my own. But why am I doing this video today, you may ask? Well, let me go do my lips and I'll be right back to tell you. Alright, so I think I said at the beginning that this month is pregnancy and infant loss awareness. And that's why I'm doing this video, because it is, and this is my story. Well, okay, and I also feel a little selfish because I've been saying I this whole time, but I know my husband misses our baby too. This has been super hard on him too, and he's been wonderful. And you know, sometimes, like when I see those moms with new babies, I feel a little sad. I will never be unhappy for a mom having a baby. That is fantastic news. I love that. Selfishly, I just wish I was holding that baby soon. She would have been due in February. And I still hope that one day I'll get pregnant. We'll have to see though. So, the story's not ended. It's in the middle. It's a little sad. It's sad right now. It's hard right now. But I'm hopeful we'll have a good ending. I am. And these are the colors for the remembrance this month. So that's why I did these colors. And I think the eyes and the lips are my favorite. I feel like I went a little too heavy on the contour, but other than that, I'm not dissatisfied. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. And remember to always be patient and kind. And remember to always be patient and kind when interacting with people. Everyone has a story. We don't know it. You know a little bit of mine now. But you know a little bit of mine and my husband's now. But always be patient and kind. And I will see you next time. Bye.